Today I'm going to show you the best mods that exist to completely transform your GTA San Andreas. Some of these mods are so insane that they make the game feel like an official Rockstar remaster. There are graphics mods, realistic physics that change all collisions, fully reworked visual effects, modern vegetation, HD cars, and much more. All of this together creates an experience you've never seen before in GTA San Andreas. Oh, and if we hit the like goal on this video, I'll release a tutorial showing how to install every single one of these mods. So don't waste time and leave your like right now. And first place on the list, I need to show you the best graphics mod ever made for GTA San Andreas, DirectX 3. This is, without exaggeration, the most impressive graphics mod ever created for GTA San Andreas. It doesn't just try to improve the game, it rebuilds almost everything you see on screen. The lighting is completely reworked, reflections look like something from a modern game, shadows are more realistic, and the water gains much more depth. Even the game's weather changes into something far more cinematic. This is the kind of mod that transforms San Andreas into a game that could have easily released in the current generation. The only problem is that it's paid, and because of that, a lot of people can't actually test this insane quality in practice. But I had to mention it here because even today, it's still the highest standard when it comes to graphics in GTA San Andreas. If you want a free and lightweight mod that still makes the game look incredible in an almost unbelievable way, that's where MMGE and McFly's magnum opus come in. This is easily one of the most impressive free graphics mods you can install. It brings much softer lighting, well-done reflections, more vibrant and natural colors, and most importantly, an atmosphere that gives the city that true remaster vibe without removing the game's original style. MMGE doesn't try to reinvent San Andreas. It only enhances what was already there, and that's why it works so well. The game looks better, cleaner visually, and with a sense of depth that the original graphics never managed to deliver. Now, if you prefer a more modern look closer to GTA 4 or even GTA 5, then you need to check out RenderHook. This mod has a completely different approach compared to MMGE. Here, you get more advanced effects, ambient occlusion, sharper shadows, volumetric fog, stronger reflections, and a much more realistic atmosphere. RenderHook makes the world feel denser, more alive, and with much higher contrast, making streets and interiors feel far closer to a modern game. And the best part? It's free as well. So here's my recommendation. If you want something closer to the original, go with MMGE. But if you want a more modern, heavier look, go with RenderHook. In both cases, the visual upgrade is so big that it feels like you're playing a completely different game. After making the game look this good, there's no way to keep the same stiff and impactless collisions from the original game, right? Because the truth is, no matter how much the graphics change when you crash a car in San Andreas, everything still feels the same. That's why the next mod on the list is one of the ones that makes the biggest difference in gameplay: Dynamic Vehicle Deformation. This mod takes the entire collision system of GTA San Andreas and completely transforms it. Now, cars actually deform. Every crash creates a different deformation depending on speed, angle, and point of impact. This makes every chase, shootout, or accident feel much more realistic. It's not just visual, you actually feel that the car took damage. And the best part is that it doesn't exaggerate. It doesn't completely destroy cars in small crashes. On the contrary, it brings the perfect balance between realism and gameplay, making every accident more dynamic without hurting the classic gameplay. It's the kind of mod you install once and never want to play without again. And since we're talking about realism, there's something we can't ignore that was always missing in San Andreas: character impact physics. The original game uses stiff animations that always repeat the same way, and that kills immersion. That's why this mod is absolutely mandatory: Ragdoll bullet physics. This mod completely changes how the game reacts when someone gets hit. Instead of triggering those stiff animations, characters now use Ragdoll physics, reacting to impacts the way they should. Every shot creates a different reaction depending on where it hits, the force of the impact, and even the direction. This makes combat feel much more natural, heavier, and alive. It keeps consistent physics that makes battles far more intense and much more satisfying. It's impressive how such a simple change can alter the entire experience. And now that combat feels much more realistic, it only makes sense to improve what everyone uses in fights. The weapons GTA San Andreas always had very simple models with blurry textures, and this becomes even more noticeable when you install modern graphics mods. And that's where NeXtGen Remaster weapons comes in. This mod replaces almost every weapon in the game with HD versions featuring far more detailed models and reworked textures. Every surface has depth, reflections, scratches, and details that make everything feel feel brand new. But without losing the original style of the game, weapon switching looks better, combat feels completely different, and even simple moments like aiming or walking with a weapon in your hand feel far more modern. It's a mod that fits perfectly with everything you've seen so far. When you combine these remastered weapons with Ragdoll physics, the result is one of the most immersive combat experiences GTA San Andreas has ever had. Now that weapons are in HD, there's no way to keep the original game's effects, right? Bullet impacts spark smoke. Everything in San Andreas was always very simple because of the time it was released. That's why the next mod on the list takes combat to another level. This mod recreates almost all visual effects related to combat. Explosions gain layers of light and particles, shots leave more defined trails, smoke becomes thicker, and even impacts on the ground and walls are reworked with much more detail. And the most interesting part is that it doesn't try to steal the spotlight. The effects are modern but not exaggerated. They feel like something that could actually exist in an official remaster. And when you combine this with new weapons, realistic physics, and vehicle deformation, the result is a GTA San Andreas that finally does justice to the chaos of battles we always imagined back in the PlayStation 2 era. Now we have modern combat, but there's still something missing. What appears on screen all the time, the environment. Because there's no point having new effects, modern graphics, if the ground, buildings, and walls still have textures from 2004. And that's where Project Revive Laser HD Texture Pack comes in. This is one of the best texture packs ever made for GTA San Andreas. It updates almost everything: streets, sidewalks, buildings, walls, interiors, signs, and objects. Even small surfaces that usually go unnoticed. The result is impressive because the game gains a remaster level look without losing its visual identity. Textures are sharp, detailed, and blend perfectly with the graphics mods you saw earlier in the video. Nothing feels overdone. Everything is extremely well crafted. It's the kind of mod that once you try becomes mandatory. And after updating textures across the entire map, there's one detail that makes an even bigger difference than it seems: small objects spread throughout the environment. Trash cans, hydrants, boxes, poles, signs, machines, fences, benches, all of these are part of San Andreas' visual identity. But in the original game, they use simple models and very weak textures. That's why the next mod on the list is Project Props Remaster. This mod updates hundreds of objects in the game, giving everything more detail and definition. Objects gain HD textures, more precise shapes, realistic surfaces, and even subtle wear and tear, which makes the environment feel much more alive. And since these objects are everywhere, the result is immediate. Everything around you feels more modern, more solid, and far more coherent with the rest of the mods you installed. It's a kind of improvement that when combined with a full mod pack makes all the difference. And after updating objects and environments, there's still one part of the map that completely changes the game's atmosphere. Vegetation, trees, bushes, grass, shadows. All of this was always very simple in the original San Andreas. And that's where BSOR Vegetation Overhaul comes in. This mod replaces all vegetation in the game with far more detailed and realistic versions. Trees get more natural shapes, leaves gain depth, density increases, and even shadows on the ground look more convincing. The world feels more alive, more colorful, and with much higher contrast. This completely transforms the feeling of driving through highways or exploring rural areas. What's most impressive is how much it changes the atmosphere without breaking the game's style. It doesn't feel forced, it doesn't clash with textures or graphics. Everything blends perfectly. It's a simple upgrade that completely changes immersion across the entire map. And to close this list perfectly, we can't ignore one of the things you use the most in the entire game: vehicles. That's why the last mod on the list is Insane Vehicles Pack. This mod replaces all original vehicles with fully remodeled versions featuring far more detail, realistic textures, improved interiors, better lighting, and corrected proportions. Cars gain depth, shine, reflections, and a level of detail that transforms any chase or simple drive through the cities. And the best part is that it keeps San Andreas' identity. Nothing feels out of place. It just looks better, more polished, and more believable. When you combine this mod with new graphics, vegetation textures, and all the other upgrades we've seen, the result is a GTA San Andreas that feels like it was re-released with an official mod-made remaster, especially considering Rockstar's original remaster didn't go so well, right? And with that, we close the list of the best mods to transform your GTA San Andreas into a completely new game. If you combine everything I showed you here, the result is an experience experience that goes far beyond a simple mod. This is literally a community-made remaster. And remember, if we hit the like goal on this video, I'll post a detailed tutorial showing how to download and install each of these mods. So don't waste time. Leave your like and a comment so I know if I should post this tutorial or not. That helps a lot, so I can keep bringing videos like this showing the best mods, remasters, tutorials, and everything that makes our favorite games even better. I'd also like to thank the channel members. If you're a member, you get some exclusive benefits and you help a lot to keep the Top Mods project alive. And if you're not a member yet, come be part of our community. Now that you know all the mods, I'm gonna wrap things up here. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.